Okay, so first I get into the app. Then I click on edit an image or video. Then you click on the photo you want. Then you scroll over. You don't have to do this, but if the background is bland, you click brushes. And then you go over here and just spam random brushes. I often start with that K-pop one around like the edges because, it gives some like space to the background. This part isn't needed, but if you have a bland background that's just like a background, I would. But if it was like something that you already started out with, then you don't have to. That's more of just like a thing to make so the colors like pop more and you can see them better. And then you add like leaves and stuff and just random things that add color so that when you deep fry it, the color will like bleed through better. You can change the opacity or whatever and the size of them. And it takes a bit of trial and error to get exactly what you want, but eventually you figure it out. And you want to make sure that you do it more on the background and not on the actual thing. You just like spam random things. Like I would put emojis sometimes, but I just put goldfish because I wanted to put goldfish man. And then this is a thing I do a lot, I often put those like dead pixels, but they were too obvious to see, so it takes a while to like get down the opacity to what is like useful, because you don't want it to take up all the space, but you do want it to be useful. So you gotta fiddle around with them. I often add them just because they add more to like the glitchy side effect. And then I'm gonna summon the boss, Short Swords. But yeah, you often just like put them around, and then sometimes you put them over the image. But like, and then I often add this glitchy side effect, and it kind of brings the whole thing together because it's kind of clear. You can see it. But it's just useful. Then you go over to your saturation and just turn it up. I mean, yeah. Then I often invert it, but this part isn't needed. I just wanted to invert it. I don't know what to tell you. And then you do this thing where you bring the lines up. You can stop at any time, like if you were to decide that, hey, that one looks good. You don't have to keep going, but I often do just to get a feel of what I really like, because sometimes I don't, but yeah, and then you messaged me. Whatever. Then if it's like too much, like for example, I noticed I could see the purple dinosaur. It was originally green, but it's purple now. I didn't like that, so I turned everything down so I could go over it and edit it with the brushes again. You can use other filters, like you could use the draw, you could use like stickers, you could use a whole nother photo, but I often like using brushes because of the variety. It's just peak. Then I often just like add a bunch of random things, like pearls, just a bunch of glitchy to again make it pop. Then you go back over to the curves. Then you up and down it a bunch more. You don't have to make it extreme because sometimes it just gets really blocky and you can't tell what is happening. Like that looks good to some people, but like you want to be able to see the chaos. Yeah? See the chaos, not just, oh, that's a lot of colors. You want to be able to see what is happening, even if it makes no sense. And then for some reason, my brain just died right there. And I was just getting distracted. But anyways, you could change it to one of those. I normally just keep it normal, but that's just because I think it looks cool. I'm getting random messages, man. Then I just up the saturation because why not? Again, because why not? Then you don't have to do this, but another thing you can do is go over to text. You don't always have to do this, but I just decided why not, because it's good to show people how to do the text. You go there, then you just like change the spacing. You don't have to, but whatever. Put it where you want on their stupid 8 a.m. medications. Heck no. Then you go over to color. Don't do that, unless you want to, but I often just go through, pick a random image. It's often one of the arts I've already done previously, but you could legit just use anything. This part I don't often do, but I decided to because I thought it would look cool. Just, add a border around it. You could use an image of, like, your face or something. I don't know, man. I tried that. It did not work. I just don't have a very textable face, I guess. But anyways, then you save it, and you export it, and then it gives you an ad, so you gotta get out. But good thing, it saves it. So, resuming unfinished progress. Now, that could be a profile picture on its own. But what if you weren't done there? You can go over to, I forgot what it was, but it was like warp or something. And then just mess it up. Like, if you don't like the conformity of it all, and then I get a I hate those. They're the worst. I get them all the time. Anyways, then you can I like to inflate it because then you can see the colors more. And they really just pop more. But it's just a lot better to have that brightness really shine, and then you can swirl it, cause why not? You often just gotta do a lot to make it random in effect. Then you go back to warp or whatever. You can squeeze it. You could restore some parts. For example, there's just a bunch of fine details like that thing. There's some colors there that don't really look good, and so a thing you can do, I think I do it in a bit if I remember what I did and if I'm not crazy. I'm voicing this after in CapCut, okay? But yeah, you just gotta change a few things. But sometimes you don't get colors that quite look good. And to fix that, this is not what I thought. Alright, to fix that, you can go to squeeze and just shrink them out of oblivion, which I just find really cool. You can just shrink them out of oblivion. Then they're no longer in oblivion. You can just do that to places that you don't like. Sadly, it does not work in real life, or else Nebraska would be gone. But then you can just inflate the areas near it, and then boom, it's like that color wasn't even there. Then you just warp around it. You could do more, you could do less. I don't really care. I just thought it kind of looks nice. Then you turn up the saturation again because, then you export it because that's another image. Then it gives you another ad and you got to get out. Then we're on to our third and last one. Originally, you could have stopped with the first one. I clicked on the wrong thing. Then you go to brushes again. You just, add a bunch of random stuff, man. I mean, at this point, what's the chaos gonna do? Eat you? No. I get these stupid things all the time. I literally wore a mask so it wouldn't trigger during the video, and it still triggered. Oh my goodness. It triggered while I was recording the audio for this. But whatever. Then you go over here. Figured that looks too normal. Then I went back to brushes. I think I had 50 goldfish. I can't remember. I don't know. I like adding the goldfish. You can't see them in the final, but they're cool. I had a bunch of those pixels, but they look too pixely, so I just went over them. Then I just went over them with those pumpkins. And do I add the pearls? Yeah, I added the pearls. I add goldfish. Obviously, we all live, laugh, love goldfish. Then I added some fireworks. That was not supposed to happen. Then I go to curves again, and I did not mean to do that. Then I just decided to invert it, and I was like, whoa, it looks cool, but there's not enough, like, black on that one, like, right side. I clicked the draw again. Oh my goodness. I'm watching this and I'm already getting annoyed. But anyways, then I went back over here, and I really liked how the pumpkins, when they got inverted, they became like a dark. So I just added a bunch more of those, cause why not? Then I went back to curves, made a mistake, and then inverted it. You know. Then I decided, hey, let's just up, down, up, down, up, down. Some of these look really cool. Like, some of them are cotton candy. You can change it and edit it however you want to. But I didn't like how you couldn't really see some of the details, so you can, like, manually, like, mountain it. I have no clue what it's called. But you can, like, manually go through and just, like, change it. Like, just go through, do what I did, then, you know, there's your thing. Turn up the saturation, because you gotta see those colors, man. Export. Then you get out of the app. Then to go to Discord, just like, you don't have to send your original image, and I got another one of those, I hate those, but you get your original image. I mean, that was me holding an inflatable dinosaur. I did not mark that as spoiler, but I marked that as spoiler. I marked that as spoiler. That is spoiler. It's just the mark as spoiler button. I don't know if you know how to do that. And then 3 versions tutorial soon, which is what you're watching right now. Anyways, bye.
Monster, how should I feel? Creatures lie here, looking through